A big shakeup tonight at the Asheville Police Department. The embattled chief, William Anderson, announced he is retiring.
It comes just days after the city hired a consultant to evaluate the department. News 13's Kimberly King begins our team coverage tonight.
Kim, how are citizens reacting to this?
Larry, many people have been following the breaking news on the chief for weeks and also for years, and some say his decision to retire is the right one. With a starting salary in 2012 of $134,000, Asheville Police Chief William Anderson will serve until the end of the year. An APD spokesperson emailing news at 4:19 today, Chief Anderson was stepping down, saying he was retiring. Citizens have followed the chief's controversies exposed by multiple News 13 investigations.
Well, I pretty much believe that what they said about him is true, and he needs to go.
Bad police work hurts everybody, so I'm very glad that he's decided to resign today.
But not all are convinced Anderson was at fault.
Well, there is a certain concern for, him being the police chief as an African American, as far as my opinion is. I was hoping when he came in that, he would do a good job and be a role model for the African American.
The police department is still very dysfunctional, and it's not all on the chief.
That, according to FOP President Rondell Lance, who says the chief is not the only problem within APD. He says council and the city manager, Gary Jackson, should also take responsibility for the hire.
He is accountable for what took place, I'll say that, and he needs to be held accountable for the next chief and for the past chief. He does have a play in this. I think city council is the one that needs to come forward and set a clear process for the next chief, and also should talk to Mr. Jackson about the process that took place and how this was allowed to happen.
Neither the mayor nor the city manager would talk with us on camera. However, they did issue statements, both saying they were proud of the work the chief has done during his time. The chief's retirement will not affect the consulting firm that's been hired to continue to review the situation within APD. Their work will continue through February. Reporting live downtown at APD, Kimberly King, News 13.
It has not been an easy road for Chief Anderson.
News 13 investigative reporter Mike Mason continues our team coverage. He looks back at the chief's time in Asheville from the beginning to the end.
March 1st, 2012. William Anderson is Asheville's new police chief. A year later, Anderson's son Chad is in a car accident, charged with failing to promptly report it.
It is concerning.
District Attorney Ron Moore calls for an SBI inquiry. 3 months later, Lieutenant Bill Wilkie claims the chief asked him to provide false evidence on his son's behalf. The next month, Lieutenant Mark Bird also goes public, filing an EEOC complaint saying the chief retaliated against him. This past March, a News 13 investigation exposes a possible officer shortage, which some blame on low morale. 5 months later, the chief's son is sentenced and found guilty of hit and run and obstructing justice for his role in the car wreck.
I'm proud of my service.
5 days later, the chief threatens to reprimand Lieutenant Wilkie after taking military leave. The Department of Labor calls it a violation of federal law. Last month, News 13 interviewed Chief Anderson. He claimed he never knew about expired radar guns, despite documents showing he attended meetings when the issues were discussed. A week later, District Attorney Ron Moore suspends handling all APD traffic cases after finding hundreds issued with expired radar. Days later, 44 officers sign a petition calling for a change in leadership. The next day, the Department of Justice launches an inquiry into citations and officers' training on expired radar equipment. City Manager Gary Jackson then announces he's hiring an outside consultant to address the APD's issues. He puts the city's fire chief in charge of things moving forward. Nearly 3 years after being hired, Chief Anderson announces he's retiring December 31st.